Hello audience, my name is Isaac Gutierrez and I will be your dungeon master today. And with me as always is Jacob as Mack Starport and Barkas as himself, Barkas Barril. And we at Bardic Logs welcome you to The Great Kara Escape, Episode 1. Hello audience and welcome. My name is Isaac Gutierrez and I will be your dungeon daddy today. With me as always is Jacob as Mack Starport. And
Hello.
And
That's not my Mac voice.
that's fair. And Barkas as Barkas.
Hello.
Now, today we're going to be starting off this session in a tavern. An elven tavern. Absolutely. You start off in a tavern. Mac, you're, in the nicest way possible, you're running away from the water. And one of the initial places you ran into was an elven kingdom. And being in the situation you're a little low on resources and has spent quite a bit of your gold trying to get away from the water. So you're in this tavern, and you're gambling. You know, you're playing cards with these people, and you're actually on quite a hot streak. And you currently, let's see, have made. You are currently making 35 gold in this current pot. You have a full royal flush in your hand, and everyone else looks like they're sweating. You put it down, you win, you pull in the cash, you're feeling good. When suddenly a dagger slams into a table. The elf that you're looking at, been playing with, slams it right between the gold pile and you. He looks at you and says, "Oi, I think you're cheating. No way you had a royal flush."
I will. I think you're an idiot. So, suppose all fair.
"Oh, and I think you're dead." He flips the table. And in this moment, a big bar fight kind of commotions. A few people just taking a moment of chaos, start fighting, punching. Various different like cups are being thrown, like almost like a half food fight, half bar fight essentially starts up. You start kind of fighting this elf, and you having a lot more of a natural fighting charisma and being a swashbuckler you are. It's not even really much of a fight. There's no initiative. He comes at you, you just deck him. But in this fight, you start getting kind of lost amongst the commotion. And all of a sudden, from the outside, you hear bells. Ding, 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 ding. Guards, guards. And one guy says, "Oh, fuck, it's the fuzz. Cheese it." You're in the middle of this chaotic tavern. What would you like to do?
Okay, what's like the setup? Where's the exits, or even windows or staircases?
Alright, you're in the middle of a crowded tavern. It's about, I would say, 100-foot kind of circumference. There's roughly 12 tables in there. It's a fairly crowded place. There's a door about 30 feet to your south. Either side, left or right, there are roughly 2 windows about 20 feet from you.
And the guards are coming from the door?
Yes, you would assume so.
Okay, then. I guess I'll make my way through the crowd to the farthest window.
Alright, pushing your way through the crowd, you hear lots of different people saying, "Oh fuck, I can't get caught again, no, 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 shit, 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 shit." And you hear even 1 or 2 people saying, "Hey, where's that Mack Starport guy? He has my gold, blah, blah, blah." And you're just like, "Gotta get out of here." So taking your 35 gold winnings, yeah, hop open to the door, you pull it on up. I'm guessing you'd like to hop on through?
Bye.
Yeah, there's I would say maybe a halfling who's just sitting there on the stool. He's sipping a mug of ale. He looks at you, he shrugs, like, "I didn't do nothing wrong."
Okay, I'm gonna pick him up, like one by the collar and one by like the back of his belt,
Mm-hmm.
and throw him through the window while saying, "I told you shouldn't have slept with my wife." Mate.
Alright, go ahead and give me a strength check as you essentially grapple this halfling real quick.
Yes, sir. I got 9.
As you go to grab this halfling, he hops up, dumps his, like, I'll say, as you go to grab him real quick, he just turns around, splashes the ale in your face, and while you're wiping it away, you just hear a little skitter scatter as you see him running across the bar top. Saying, "I don't know what you're trying to do, fool."
Thought you were something else. Thought you were someone else. My apologies, mate. And I pick up the chair he was sitting on and throw it through the window.
Alright, you smash through the window. I'll say you take an extra just second using like the little stool legs to like really just break it apart, make sure there's no bits gonna cut yourself on. and you hop on through. You're in an alleyway, sideway. You can see passing the alleyway are several elven guards wearing nice kind of not something you've really seen before. It looks like chainmail, but it's like lightly blue, and it looks a lot lighter than normal chainmail. And with this, you see many of them kind of running by and filling in a tavern as you hear arrests being made. It sounds like not necessarily a full-on like arrest raid, but more like calming down a civil kind of thing. And a few of the instigators do sound to be being hunted down. And you hear maybe a few people say, "Oh yeah, there's this one dude. I don't know where he went," but they start giving like a very vague description of you. What would you like to do?
What's the city like? Like what kind of city is it?
All right, so you are in one of the elven capitals of this world. This is Alahadra. It's a very beautiful wooden kingdom. In fact, even the castle itself is made of a thick iron wood and is woven within an actual living tree. These are a druidic kind of people, and maybe that's partially why you kind of chose to stay and mess with them, is that druidic people tend to be a little bit more trusting, a little bit more hippy-dippy, but every now and then there are troublemakers and stuff that you tend to deal with. But a lot of the people here are very trusting, and that's why you're quite happy to take their coin, maybe.
Would it be safe to say they probably have a theater somewhere?
Yeah, I'll say like maybe a small theater, like a little...
Can I make my way towards that?
Absolutely. So you start making...
Trying to stay like in the alleys out of sight, obviously.
Gotcha. So you start making your way kind of through the back alleys, going back and forth. Every now and then you see, not royal guards, but very well done up guards going back and forth. It appears that even though they're hippy-dippy, you get a really strange sense that their military force is unnecessarily strong for their hippy-dippy lifestyle. And as you kind of duck back and forth, after maybe a few minutes of just kind of booking it, you finally see across is a little gateway. Across the street is a little archway, and it leads down this little path, and you see the Open Wells Theater. It is a what's called an amphitheater, an open theater. So even though there is a backstage that is covered, the actual theater itself is open to the elements.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk up, try to find someone who's nearby, who seems to work at the theater.
Okay. I will just really quick reiterate this is the entrance to this is across the street. It is a relatively bustling street, and there are I would say maybe one or two guards passing by. If you like to just go straight across, you can give me a stealth check and try to pull an Assassin's Creed where you go through the crowd, or if you can come up with some other way to kind of stealth past a few guards looking around the streets.
I'll make a stealth check.
All right.
I have high stealth. 19.
Just classic, Assassin's Creed style. Every time you enter a crowd, it seems like you fade away, and then you go from one to another. These guards maybe even stop looking like, that's Rapscallion. They said he ran out of the tavern. Where is he? And the moment they look away, you pass through, and you go to another crowd, and eventually you just boom at the entrance. As you start walking down the trail, you see this lovely woman sitting at the front. She seems to be a possible ticket person.
Good evening, ma'am. I don't suppose you have any costuming accessories in there. I would pay you a handsome fee, 35 gold. How does that sound?
Oh my, well sir, I think we can skip all hellos and get straight to the facts. How can I assist you?
Yeah, that would be absolutely preferable.
Well, how can I assist you?
Oh, well, I need a little bit of a disguise kit, I suppose.
Oh, well then. If you'd like to follow me real quick. And she gets up from her table kind of on the trail and starts walking in, gesturing for you to follow.
Okay, I follow, but stay alert, and just in case.
Alright, you start entering this open area, and you see the amphitheater. It's a very lovely kind of white tree background. You see that they've manipulated many different birch trees into this background, and she even opens a door that looks to be made of the tree itself. And as she opens the door, kind of going to the backstage, you see wondrous different elven costumes. Again, elven though, so all unnecessarily pompous looking, all very exquisite, silky, very, very clean, and usually pretty expensive for most people. But someone offering 35 gold, she's willing to grab you a few of them.
Okay, so... Okay. She gives me... What? Just a bunch of clothes?
She just kind of gestures and says, well, go ahead and pick one or two little outfits for yourself if you want to disguise. I'll look the other way for now.
I'd like to grab a set of makeup, a hat, and a coat. Put it in my bag. Is she watching me do this?
Yes, but mostly it seems like she's just trying to understand which inventory things she needs to mark off.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll take... do they have something, like wax or something I could use to make myself look like an elf?
Yeah, I'll say there's maybe a tub of, like... It's
rubber ears.
Yeah, it's like it's a little offensive, and they only do it for tourists. But there are like actual like little rubber elven ears, and she kind of like rolls her eyes when you get to that.
I'm gonna throw those on. I'm gonna find like a nice blue cloak that maybe looks fairly wealthy, not super expensive, just like upper middle class. Put that on, and then I'll take off my hat, throw it in my satchel, and put on like a blue like bowler cap.
Okay.
And then a pair of spectacles.
All right. I won't even have you roll. That was a very well done description. I'll say your disguise is good. It fools the average person, and they would have to make an actual like perception check to tell if it's you. But on average, no passive perception is really gonna pick up as you, as long as you don't make any. As long as you don't remove the spectacles and the hat to be like, I am Mack Starport kind of thing.
Right.
And with this...
Thank you, young lady. That was very kind of you. I didn't catch your name, by the way.
Eliza.
I grab her hand and kneel and kiss it. I go, charmed, I'm sure.
Indeed, sir. What is your name, mysterious gentleman of wealth?
Well, I think for the moment, my name shall remain mysterious gentleman. Your payment as promised, and I throw her 30 gold.
She takes it, and I'll say how it kind of goes, because just tossing like 30 gold coins would like be a mess. So like you maybe put it in like a sack for her, and assuming that you like basically just dumped it, she just accepts it. But I'll say that 5 gold that you kind of kept for yourself, you maybe like held it on the top of the sack, so it's just 5 gold coins in your hand, and you pretend to toss the sack into your backpack.
Okay.
Yeah, and so she's going, oh, all right. Well, thank you very much, mysterious man. And let's just say Eliza is a very happy woman when it comes to receiving money. So if you ever need help and you have the wealth, you know who to come to.
Excellent.
All right, but for now...
Thank you very much. Now I really should be on that.
Absolutely. And she like shows you the way out. And as you come out, you see... There are still several guards kind of looking around, but it does seem that they've stopped the initial chase and have kind of resumed normal patrols.
I wanna walk by one and just go, evening, officer.
Oh, evening, civilian.
Busy day?
Oh yes, very busy. Rapscallion about.
I'm sure. I cannot stand them.
Oh, me neither. He spits on the ground. Chaotic beans.
And I keep going. I'll just go to another tavern.
All right. As you make your way to another tavern, we're going to transition over to Barkas. Barkas.
Yep.
The incident that has occurred in your past that is pushing you to go an adventure. I don't want to necessarily spoil it, but this incident has occurred a little bit ago, and you're wanting to go adventure. And I'll say for the better part of a week, you've been arguing with your father, the Grand Chief of the Elven Kingdom. He gives you many excuses, from you're not ready to adventure on your own, let me send you with your gods, let me do this, but every time it's always the same thing. I have to do this on my own, I have to avenge my brother, I have to do this. Every time it's one excuse after another, and eventually you maybe had enough of excuses, and you maybe kind of blurted out whatever, but like, God, like, fine, maybe I'll just run away, or I'll do it alone, or blah blah blah. And this sparked a rather big fight. And during this, your father decided to just lock himself away. Like he's had enough. And with this, you say, you know what, fuck it, I'm done. You needed to go for a walk. You needed to cool off. And so you're currently walking through the kingdom, maybe trying to cheer yourself up again. You're like, oh, I like helping the people. I'm gonna go try to make sure everyone's okay, check on the guards and all that. And suddenly you hear a tavern brawl has gone out, and there's guards everywhere, and another mess. Would you like to go check it out and see if the people are okay?
Why not?
Alright, as you show up, you see that there are several guards, and they're interviewing a few people. Several people have maybe a cut or a bruise, nothing too bad, but you see one elf is in handcuffs as he's labeled as one of the main instigators. Maybe as talking to a guard, you walk up and he's like, oh, Prince Barrel. He bows to you.
No need for that.
I assume you like to report?
Yes.
This gentleman here was having a card game with a newcomer apparently to the kingdom, a human of sorts. I've been described as dirty and slightly drunken of sorts. He shivers as if the idea of being drunken and dirty is disgusting to him. Other than that, we don't know where he is. We have reports that he may have gone through a window. He gestures to a side alley. You see like police tape. And he's like a forensics guy holding like a magnifying glass. He's like looking back and forth at the glass. You never really supported your dad's forensics area, as that is not a proven scientific thing yet. So you see him just staring at it, and you're like, all right, so it's very clear, something happened. A bar fight started. This mysterious fellow jumped out the window, and he made off. This forensics guy you assume is useless, as he's basically just a policeman who was told to carry around a magnifying glass. And other than that, he just kind of gives you that report that eyewitnesses state that the elven man pulled out a dagger on the human, and that after the human supposedly made a grand winning, he also made a grand display of kicking an elf's ass after the elf pulled a knife on him. And then after a bar fight ensued, the man disappeared, and the elf was the only one remaining, and saying that he didn't do nothing, he didn't do shit. What would you like to do? There is the tavern on the inside with eyewitnesses. There is the elf who pulled the knife on Mack. And then there's the... and you don't know that's Mack. I'm just saying that specifically for details of who he is. And then there's the broken window leading to the alley.
Let's talk to the elf that pulled a knife.
Alright. He's sitting on the bench, maybe kind of handcuffed behind his back, manacles. Not too tight, it's not like they're like... Your guards aren't abusive. You made sure of that. Even if your dad wasn't fully aware of it, you definitely made sure your guards weren't abusive, and you had this whole thing. But he looks comfortable, but you tell like he's restrained. He ain't gonna be hurting no one else. He looks at you, looks down, kind of half in shame. Prince Barrow.
So you want to tell me what happened?
This dirty, cheating human came around, and we were playing cards, and there's no way he could have done it. We just, I was. He looks down like, okay,
Really cheated, by the way.
Oh yeah, so he did he. He's like, I was counting cards, all right, and so I knew he couldn't have had a royal flush, and I knew it. So I was like, nah, you're not taking my gold. I earned that hard, and I lost my temper. One thing led to another, and well, he made off with my gold. So I suppose at the end of the day, I'm still just a victim.
Isn't counting cards also cheating?
Tomato. Some say that it's, just keeping track.
So what was the problem then? You were both cheating. Technically, you had each a fair advantage over the other. What was the reason to pull a knife? You were clearly cheating, so was he, from the sounds of it.
What, you think I'm just gonna lose my gold for nothing? No offense, Prince, but that's pretty dumb.
I didn't say to lose the gold. You could have played another game.
With what gold?
Flip a coin.
Sounds a lot like you're being rational, sir, which I was very angry at the time.
I understand your anger and losing your gold, but pulling a knife wasn't the best way to go about it.
Yeah, I see that. I see it. You look at him and he looks down. You see he has like several cuts along his legs, and by the way he like winces when he moves, you may think he might even have like a bruised rib or a joint has been like hurt or something.
You notice he appears to have been wedgied.
Yeah, his he appears to be very uncomfortable as there's a wedgie halfway up his back.
Is there anything I could roll to try and help alleviate any discomfort he has?
I'll just say, being the Barkas you are, you take a moment to just like help the gentleman.
That's gonna be awkward,
You
but
pull,
okay.
you pull the wedgie out of his intestines.
You like have to like pull it down and like help him kind of like shift his pants. It's awkward, but it's the Barkas way that you take the extra initiative to help people.
Feel better now.
A little bit. My pride is still hurt, but other than that.
Sometimes you just gotta suck up that pride, whether it's hurt or not, and just move forward.
Yeah. I'll say that it appears that your counseling has both affected the man, and that it does appear that you're probably not going to get any more information from him.
That's fair.
All right. Would you like to go inside and check out eyewitnesses or the glass shards outside the window?
Can I roll a perception check by the window to see if I can spot any clues as to which way they may have gone or anything of the sort?
Give me
Or
investigation.
Alright. Let's see what that is.
Mr. Detective Barrel.
Dang, no character details. I sent you the images as well.
Yep, you got +6.
+6. Oh yeah, okay, there we go.
Yep.
And physical die. Ooh. Not 20, 26.
Alright. What I'll say is there's not a lot of like detail here, as Mack, being a fairly decent rogue, didn't leave much detail, but you do notice one thing, or two things specifically. One is that the nearby trash can leading to the westward alleyway is slightly disturbed, and two, the glass shards, they've been broken outwards and are slightly shifted inwards, as someone went into the alley and not out into the streets.
Okay. I'll keep note of that, and then I'll go inside and get everyone else's info.
Also, you spend maybe like
Go from there.
10 minutes and it's just going by talking to people. A lot of people like, oh, hello, Prince Barrel, blah blah blah, and it's kind of assumed that when Prince Barrel comes on, like the real detective is here, so they all start kind of crowding and talking to you, and they start giving information, and like all eyewitness accounts, a lot of it mishmashes up, various different descriptions of Mack Starport. At one point you hear...
Did you see my DM, by the way?
Yes, I did. And at one point you hear, I think he said his name was Stack something? Stack Celestial something. Other than that, Jacob, could you give me like a few random features of Mack that may or may not line up that people may have said?
Most noticeable thing, I'll do like 2 truths and a lie style.
Nice, I like it.
So I'll give 6 descriptions, 2 of them are lies. Most noticeable thing, he has a fancy rapier on his hip. He has 2 guns on his other hip. He wears a tricorn hat. He is covered in tattoos. That's 4. He's extremely tall for a human, about 6 foot. And 6 foot, not that tall.
Maybe like 6'3".
Yeah, 6'3", and he has a goatee.
All right. You get those facts, and knowing this, you're like trying to do your best to kind of find out which details may be fake, which maybe not. But all these people seemed to it seemed like it was just chaos. Like once one fight got out, everyone was just wanting to express their frustration at whatever douchebag was in front of them, and so they just started fighting. And so not everyone seems to even fully recognize that a fight was started by some guy named Stack.
If that's the case, I'll write everything down that I collected and then head towards the direction they were walking into the alleyway past the garbage can.
All right, I'll say it
That
takes
was
you.
indicated by the glass.
I'll say it takes you a little bit, but you see, eventually, you kind of follow these little footprints every now and then, or every now and then, like maybe you find a big footprint that has splashed through a puddle and left a few wet footprints, or when you think you've kind of started losing the trail, you'll find maybe a single gold coin that has kind of rolled about, and even if it's not necessarily a solid clue, you kind of follow it, and eventually you come towards a little alleyway that kind of just
At one point, there's a puddle of urine that smells oddly like alcohol.
Yeah, it's a very strong, like an alcoholic has just pissed, and you assume that maybe it's the described drunken, dirty man. And using this, you eventually get to this cross section, and it's like a left and right, and you look down, and following this trail of the smell, I would say, you go left, and it enters back into the street, and you can't really keep up the trail. There's too many footsteps entering the street. I will say directly across is a theater. To the left and right are different various marketplaces and maybe even an armory. Or not an armory, a smithery.
Based on what they described in terms of how the person was, would I come to the conclusion that because of the description everyone gave me that the theater would be the best likely place to go in terms of disguising oneself?
I mean, yeah, probably. That's like not something that you'd get based on Mack as a person.
Yeah, not based off description.
Just what they just gave me. Like, I could use 2 and 2 together and be like, oh, he's caused a fight. He's basically dirtied and smelly and whatnot. He's going to go somewhere and try and find a way to disguise himself.
Based off what you just said, I would think that the local well would probably be more likely, as he needs a bath. Or maybe even the local whorehouse. He might try to hide himself.
I would let him roll for it.
Yeah, if you want, I would let you do. I'll give you 3 options. You can either do a survival check and try to keep the trail. You can do a perception check to see if you can spot anyone nearby, or you can do an investigation check and try to search that. Or I'll say the investigation is kind of like when every detective game has that like menu that you try to put together your clues, and I'll try to give you hints based off your clues. Or a secret 4th option, you can try to talk to someone nearby.
Is there anyone nearby within my line of sight?
Yeah, there's lots of people walking back and forth. I'll say 2 people that maybe you would assume aren't like just like walking by and actually may have been here a few minutes ago, whether either be guards or local shopkeepers, or maybe even in fact, no, I'll say, in fact, screw the rest. I'll say that's that's probably the most apparent thing. You know he came through here. There's probably eyewitnesses that would describe a man coming through here. And so, whether it be the theater, the marketplace, the smithery, the guards, or even maybe someone who looks like they're sitting on a bench looking around. I'll say there's even like an old elf man who's like sitting on a bench with a cane, like just watching. There's plenty of possible ways to kind of look at it.
Okay. If that's the case, I'll speak with the shop owners, the guards in the area.
All right, let's start with
that takes and get information from there.
I'll say maybe the quickest thing would just be a guard as they're kind of just walking about. Oh, hello, Mr. Bear. No, we have not seen anyone enter through this area. We're looking for somebody, but no one has even gone out this far. We've been trying to talk to people, and every now and then we'll hear someone mention a smell, an awfully non-elven smell, one of the water. But other than that, we can't. We get the idea that maybe he's in this area, but we can't really pin down where.
Or the general area where it might be coming from. Smell.
We keep getting reports near, and he like brings up his notepad. Let me see. People are talking about a fishy smell near the theater, the smithery, and the well house.
Well house, smithery, or theater. Which would be the closest one between the 3 of those?
I would say the smithery and the theater are both on that street. The well house would be a good minute away. And yes, and that man in a blue trench coat kind of outfit kind of walks on by. An elven man. Evening.
Do I notice? I noticed him walk by, right?
He just gestured. Oh, evening.
Can I stalk him?
Can I attempt to pickpocket? Okay, never mind.
Oh, say wait, hold on, wait, you're gonna say this man just said eat?
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna stop him so I can talk to him real quick.
all right, you stop him.
Is it me?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna have it like you just came out the theater. You're walking by and you see a very wealthy-looking elf in fine robes talking to a guard. He appears to be asking the guard questions. Too many questions.
Hello there.
Good day, sir.
And how are you doing on this fine day?
I am doing lovely. How are you, sir? Some
Not too bad.
nearly knocked me over in the hallway back there, but I give him a piece of my mind. He ran off, of course, but... oh, yeah, sorry.
I'm looking for someone right now that caused an incident at a tavern.
Is that so?
On his breath, you smell a very strong alcoholic and ever so slight hint of fishiness. But he looks like an elf. He doesn't look like a human.
Truly, that is terrible. I am so sorry that could have happened, young man. But if you'll excuse me, I have an important meeting with my superiors.
Before he goes, I'm going to say something in Elven.
Okay, what would you like to say in Elven?
Wait, let me double check my languages.
That'd be so funny if you know Elven.
I don't think... Elven's usually one of the ones I pick up, but let me double check. Go ahead.
Yeah, what would you like to say in Elven?
Basically, may the moon and the stars guide you.
Alright.
Let me hold on, I'm checking my languages.
I have a feeling you don't have it.
I probably don't. I just want to make sure. I want to know what other language I picked. Where do you find languages? I can't find it.
If you're going on D&D Beyond, it's the bottom left under proficiencies. So at least that's where it is for me. Oh, alright.
Yeah. In that case, hearing him say that, I guess I would just nod.
Yeah. He nods to you, which is not necessarily an uncommon response. Many do kind of give a to you as well, sir. I will say, the one thing you do notice, Barkas, is he's the only one out of everybody who has not called you Prince Barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did pick up on that. I was waiting for him to reply back and just say, and to you as well, Prince Barrel or something, but since he didn't say anything, are the guards still standing next to me?
Yeah, there's just a guard. He's just like, he was just talking to you when this man accidentally walked by and said evening, and so he just assumed you were done with him, and he's just taking a step back. He's still on his duty, but he gave you space.
I'm fast walking away.
Yeah, you're like
go after him? Can I motion to the guard to go after him?
Like, do you want him to grab him? Follow him?
Yes.
Okay.
Follow, grab, anything of that sort.
I'll say, Mac, as you start walking away, you see...
Doing, like, the fast walk with, like, stiff arms back and forth and, like, stiff, like, not bending my knees, just like, almost running.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, exactly. You're like, oh shit. As you look behind you, and you see the elf gestures. Like, you may be like, to you. Like, you, like, nod your head and try to, like, scooch your way on out. Like, oh fuck. And then you just look back, you see him nod to the guard, and the guard starts... almost like he's not trying to cause a scene. He's like trying to walk up to you very quickly. It looks like the guard kind of subtly pulls out manacles.
Can I dive into a crowd?
Absolutely. Would you like to give me...
crowd?
Yes, it's a busy street. People are walking back and forth. You can either give me a dex check or a stealth check. Oh no, not dex. Acrobatics or stealth.
I'll do stealth because that's my goodest. I got a nat 1.
I'll say what happens is...
I just knock someone over.
Here you go. What you do is you're looking around like, I need to get into a crowd. Well, like, same thing as before. You wanted to blend in. So as you go in, you go into a crowd, but this time you're like pushing and trying to shove, and a few people maybe like even push and shove back, and because of this, someone accidentally rips off your coat, and all of a sudden, your disguise is off, your coat is off, and now your full pirate garb is open for everybody to see, including a rapier and flintlocks.
I jump behind like a market stall and pretend to be selling fruits.
Okay.
The guard watches.
Do I notice this happening at all?
Yeah, easily. This is.
You. Can I interest you in some? I look down at the fruit, having no idea what they are.
Yeah.
They're clearly elven. Of these yellow, long things.
Barkas, this is not even 10 feet away. That like some guy accidentally pulled off his coat and he's just freaked out and jumped behind a marketplace stand. You see the guard just look at him like with very like, are you fucking kidding me eyes?
Premium quality exported from Yellow Landia.
Look here, sir. We know that you're the person who caused the fight. You can either come with me under orders of Prince Barrel or I can take you by force, and I really don't want to have to hurt you, sir.
Yeah, out of curiosity, what do you do with your prisoners? Just, purely.
Interrogate, teach them right from wrong, put them through training, teach them how to be a proper person in society.
Well, I happen to have just the thing. Yeah.
Barkas, do you kind of like walk over at this point?
Banana out from behind my back and hold it towards him. Would say I let you keep this, and you turn a blind eye.
Give me a persuasion with disadvantage.
Wow. Okay, you're actually letting me roll this.
Only because it's so unlikely. I want to see like what happens.
Okay, I have high persuasion. This might actually work.
That would be very
Okay,
funny.
14 is my lowest.
Okay, this guard looks at you, and for half a minute, Barkas, you see him look left and right as if he's considering it.
You look awfully hungry today, sir.
I am hungry. And then you,
I have just the thing.
and then you walk up, Barkas, and then he's like, he swipes the banana. Banana or not, you have to come with me, sir.
Well, oh, all right. You got me. And, I flipped the table.
You flip the table, it gets in the guard's face.
I turn around and run into a wall and fall unconscious.
Yep, unconscious on the floor, Mack lays there, half drunken, he pieces himself a little bit. Barkas, what would you like to do? Your guard is like
Who's
getting...
whispering to me?
There's someone whispering to you?
There's the music.
Oh, sorry, I don't even have rhythm on, let me check.
The music is whispering to me.
Oh, I don't know who's whispering to you, I'll change that. That's not supposed to be whispers.
I like this so far. It's peaceful.
I'm having flashbacks right now.
There we go.
Oh no. Since the guard's on the floor, I'll grab the manacles and just restrain him myself.
Yeah, you get up there, and it's very easy. You just put him behind his back. You see this man. Would you like to give a full description of Mack Starport now? Of, like, how he looks?
Yes. So, I am very clearly an ex-pirate. So, I'm wearing kind of a very, just like a black kind of leather vest over like a white top with like frilled sleeves. I've got 2 pistols on my left hip and a rapier on my right hip. And I have a tricorn hat, several piercings, no tattoos. That's pretty much it.
Alright, out of character, I was gonna assume that the fancy rapier was a lie and the tattoos were a lie. I came to that conclusion when you were describing it, like, what makes sense and what doesn't.
I got you.
I'd about the height.
Yeah.
He's like average, 5'10" maybe.
Hey Barkas, as the guard gets up and wipes like the banana mush off of himself, goes, "Oh, thank you, Prince Barrel. You're the most helpful royal person that I know."
And you were almost swayed by a banana.
I was not persuaded, sir. I was merely entertaining him. Like half unconscious. It was a good banana. And he looks like, "No, sir. I was just, he was already there. I was just trying to see what he would do. And like, you were there. We had him no matter what. I was just trying to see if he would do something funny." He's very clearly like
hesitating there. Can I roll an insight?
Sure.
Alright.
I can see if the guard was almost convinced by a banana.
He was.
I do want to do that. This will be very dumb. 21.
21.
Your security is garbage.
He was not almost convinced by, but you could tell that banana did look pretty good to him. That it maybe if there's maybe 2 bananas, he might have considered it.
Drat.
Let's pick him up and take him to the prison cell. Come on.
All right. I'll say Barkas, if you can give Barkas' description as Mack. You wake up in a interrogation room. None of your items are on you. You're handcuffed to the table in front of you. It's a wooden table. And sitting in front of you is that same elf that blew your cover. Would you like to just... Right behind him.
Okay.
And Barkas, you can describe yourself.
Is this before or after my use of prestidigitation to hide my identity? Since most people already know who I am, since all the Elf Kingdom know who I am.
However you would like to describe it.
Alright, so if that's the case, I'll just keep my eyes hidden from what they truly are. You see a 6'2" elf, 180 pounds, black and silver hair sitting in front of you, looking at you, wearing full black robe with silver inlines of the stars and the moon, carrying around a longbow. Not much else. He's about, I'd say, in his early hundreds.
In his early hundreds.
Yeah.
What does that translate to in human years?
Like human years, like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that,
I'm just gonna like rest one hand on my cheek and kind of just lean on it.
yeah.
On the table.
So what's happening is, Barkas, you and the guards have brought both him and the other elf to the jails, and you're just gonna talk to them, figure out which one really did start it, which one did what, and you're basically kind of your like initial idea would be like, oh, maybe not necessarily give him a slap on the wrist and put them back on their way, but like explain, hey, that's not cool, blah blah blah, and maybe because this pirate fellow obviously is very much smarter than the average thief, you maybe want to question him and understand like where he comes from. And maybe part of you even thinks maybe this man can help me leave the kingdom.
Okay.
And so I'll say
Alright,
maybe without trying to draw too much attention, and to bring this man in so you can talk to him about helping you, you take him to interrogation room. Maybe the guard's like, do you really have to interrogate him? I thought we figured out everything. Like, no, let me, he's interesting. Let me talk to him a little bit more. And so yeah, I'll say even his stuff isn't even like away in, evidence. It's like in his backpack is maybe leaning against the corner behind you.
Okay.
Wait, in the interrogation room?
Maybe not within your eyesight. I'll say is Barkas, you have it maybe in like kind of hidden under the table, kind of next to you. Yeah, like kind of like next to your chair, I'd say.
Okay. Well, because I was gonna ask to make a perception check to look for possible ways to get out.
Yeah, you don't even need to do a perception check. It's a 20 by 20 room. It's one door that has it looks to be a reinforced wooden door. Other than that, there is the wooden table in the middle that appears, as you like lean on it and touch it, it doesn't feel like normal wood. It's much, much harder, much stronger than normal wood. There
Got some hard wood in here.
And other than that, there is both of you sitting chairs back at either side. You cannot see over the table at this time, as it is a fairly decently long table. So that's why he's able to kind of keep your stuff tucked under it and kind of in his control in a way, like him holding the situation. But other than that, maybe I'll say behind you is, as they don't want to do an airtight room, is a grated window, but it's not like a full window. It's like maybe a foot tall, just enough for air to pass through.
Okay.
Other than that, go ahead and RP.
So, how are we gonna deal with this?
That's a good question.
Tell me, how good are you at escaping kingdoms? Unseen.
Good enough that I already have a way to get out of here.
If I help you get out, can you help me get out the kingdom?
I kind of narrow my eyes at you. I'm not gonna fall for your tricks.
No trick, no lie.
Mr. Nobility, what's your name?
Barkas Barril.
Alright, listen. You're clearly out of your element here, so I'm gonna cut you some slack. You let me go. When I leave, I'll be sure not to cause any problems for your little kingdom. Causing problems is kind of my specialty, so it takes a conscious effort to avoid them.
If you get out, you help me get out of the kingdom.
Why do you want...
And my reasons.
Well, that's not gonna work for me. I don't work with someone unless I know why they want the thing they're going after. I kind of just start like picking at my nail.
I want revenge. No one else seems to be willing to do anything. So I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. So how about it?
Now, what's to keep me from just leaving you as soon as I'm out of here?
Well, We have a dungeon underground. I could just keep you locked up in there, and I'll just keep your stuff with me.
But the thing is, you have to let me out if you want out, right? Because that's what I'm understanding here.
I mean, I can figure out some other way to get out. I'm just thinking, hey, maybe you can help me and I can help you. Mutually beneficial.
Tell me about this subject of your malice.
Someone in the Thieves Guild.
You know, I have friends in there. It'd be a shame if I were to cause harm.
Who says you'll be causing the harm? I just need to find them and I'll deal with them myself.
Do you have a name? I know people. You know. That's my thing.
Do I have a name?
You have no. All you know is that your brother was killed by drugs, a very bad drug called the lotus flower. It's a very specific drug that comes from the east, the deserts.
Why the hell did that make me think of Avatar?
It's. I mean, the lotus flower is something that's brought up in there, but it's not the drug. It's just a cool name that happens.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's Sorry, I forgot to tell you this. This is my bad. Basically, when you overheard this, Barkas, you heard that it was the lotus flower, a spice-type drug that has been mined heavily in the east, in the deserts of a continent far across the ocean.
Comes from the east. What killed him?
Killed who?
My brother.
Do I have any knowledge of this? History?
Yeah.
Should I make a history check?
Go ahead. Give me a history check.
Okay. Let's see here. Where is history? 5.
You, Mac, were always like towards the the west of the ocean. You dealt with a lot more like mushrooms kind of drugs, like kind of tropical stuff. You never really went near the deserty area. That was too hot and humid for you.
Yeah, I know about it. We ship once and got a big old box of it. Sold it for a few thousand gold pieces.
Do these sound convincing at all?
Yeah. Well.
Let me roll a
deception
check.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a deception check. And Barkas, if you like, you can roll an insight, and that'll kind of judge how convincing he is.
11.
7 plus 6.
You get the sense that he. I'll put it this way. It's not an outright lie. You get the sense that he was a smuggler. He did do stuff. But it sounds like he's trying to fluff up how much he can help you. Just a little bit. He may not know about the drug itself, but he does know his way around that trade.
So, I'll tell you what. I'll help you. I'll help you under one condition. When I get out, I also want a... You know, you're a prince. You're rich. I want a modest sum to go with me. 500 gold pieces. How's that sound? Surely that's nothing for someone like you. Just ask your dad for it or something.
Your payment is me letting you out and you not having to worry about paying any fines.
Well, my payment to you is knowledge and my expertise, so I think it's a fair trade.
I'm just gonna get him, grab his stuff from my other table, and walk towards the door.
You'll come back. I'm sure you will. Right? You will come back?
I'll give him a side glance and just step out.
Okay,
close the door.
200 Drat.
And if you like that video and like to see more content, please drop a like and subscribe to Wolfer28, or give us a follow and a rating on both Spotify and iTunes as Bardic Logs. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you next time.